In this video, I'm heading back to the Outer Banks in North Carolina, and this video was filmed just a few days after Thanksgiving Day weekend. It was incredibly windy and stormy while we were there, and that led to some really fun times taking photos, as well as a couple of issues with the weather. This place has become really special to me over the last couple of years, and I really enjoy making landscape photos here. So today I just want to share some of that process with you, and of course, a lot of the photos. This is now my third trip out here in the last 6 months alone. I absolutely love this place, and I keep coming back here for photos because it feels so special to me. There's something about the light and the atmosphere of this place that is unlike anything I've ever seen before. It is so beautiful, so intense, and it all changes so quickly, I think. I hope to make a photography project here at some point in the future. What exactly that might look like, whether it's a book or a zine or some other kind of publication, I don't exactly know yet, but I just love coming out here and it feels really good, so I keep doing it. So that in itself is enough of a reason for me to keep coming back here. I want to share a little bit of the trip though, because this day in particular is the day after Thanksgiving Day weekend. As you can see behind me, the beach is super quiet. This is completely different to any of the other times I visited out here before, which was mainly during the summer months when it was just incredibly busy and lively, which is of course super cool to photograph. But as a contrast for the project, I think a quiet off-season weekend has been really fun to photograph as well. It's been incredibly windy and stormy and just very different to what we've seen before. So for the sake of the project, I think that's super interesting. tradition that we have in the Outer Banks is that my friends and I try to get up for almost every sunrise, at least whenever we can. On this particular morning, there was no sunrise in the traditional sense of the sun coming up over the horizon, but it was this incredibly stormy and windy morning, which made for some beautiful conditions for photos that I hadn't seen before in the Outer Banks.
It only hurts your chest slightly. you wouldn't get to it, would you?
One moment in particular from this trip that was quite memorable was walking down this super windy road, which is at the entrance of Pea Island. And there's sand dunes on both sides, and the wind speeds were just absolutely insane this day. And it was fun just kind of photographing the sand blowing across the road. At the same time, what doesn't really come across in the video is how painful the wind carrying sand is at these speeds. I think this will literally take the paint off your car if you're here for long enough, and it certainly took some skin off my body. It was like a free exfoliation, but nonetheless, super fun to try and photograph, and I think there's an image of the sandy road that is super nice. For the evening hours of this day, we went out to Cape Point, which is this really beautiful southern tip of the island, and the photographer Daniel Pullen drove us out there. He's a photographer who lives in the Outer Banks and shoots there year-round. His photos are incredible, and he drove us out there because you need an off-road four-wheel drive truck or vehicle so that you can actually drive to the furthest point, which is all the way out on the beach. Anyway, it was this really beautiful stormy evening there. And what I love about this spot specifically is that it's one of the few places that I've ever seen two different directions of waves crash into each other right at the southernmost tip of the point. You get the waves from the bay crashing into the waves from the Atlantic Ocean, which is just incredibly beautiful to me. It was a super windy day here, and I think I turned around for like 2 seconds, and when I looked back around, the wind had just fully taken away my Mamiya 7. Guys, mint condition Mamiya 7 for sale. I know what I have. I'm asking $5,000.
No best offer.
Yeah.
Just $5,000. Buyer pay shipping.
Serious buyers only. I brushed it off though, and to my surprise, although the lens is maybe a little crunchier than it was before, the thing works perfectly fine still. I've had this thing in hurricanes, all kinds of rainstorms. It's now taken a bath in the sand, and it just keeps working, which is honestly insanely impressive. I absolutely love the Outer Banks. I hope to make some kind of printed publication with all this work at some point in the future. There's a couple more trips from the Outer Banks that I have filmed as well that I haven't shared yet, so hopefully I'll put those out pretty soon here as well. Thank you to my friends Jimmy and Dave who are on the trip with me every single time. I will put some of their photos here as well. I think it's really interesting because we're interested in the same place, but we come back with such different photos every time, and it's always such a great time being out there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and finally, thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Squarespace is an incredible all-in-one website building platform that you can use to build your photography portfolio online. I've been using Squarespace for so many years now, and they've made it so easy to get a website up and running with my photography. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, you can hit the link in my description for a 14-day free trial of Squarespace, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Willem for 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Thank you for watching. Peace.